Okay, so these are the basic things you need to do to get started. I've shown most of you how to do this, but I'll just go through it on this video just for you to use as a reference. Okay, we all need to make sure we've got the costs, and this page is essential. Okay, remember, we've got different values with the costs. These three values are currency, so you have to make sure that you select currency. Now, when we do this, you remove some of the decimal points, so you have to put them back. We want 4 decimal points with this. Remember, the VAT is a percentage, so you have to select percentage. Okay, percentage is there. Okay, that's not looking too good. We want that to be 20. So just adjust that. So it is 20%. We don't need decimal points with this, so we get rid of them using these here. So this table, I'm not going to format it, but that table is looking, well, just had some borders. There's your lookup table. You're going to be using this constantly. It's the most important part to make sure that your numbers are absolutely accurate and there's no mistakes with the numbers here. If there's any mistakes, the whole table won't work and you won't be able to model the data. Okay, so remember we've got this data. It has the 3 sets of 90 days data here. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be splitting this up. You don't have to split it up, but it's a good idea to do so. So remember, you want to see everything, so you select everything and then double click. Everything's more visible now. If you are going to do any formatting, I suggest you do it now. So if you are going to be coloring in using different colors, okay, I would do it now. So when you copy, you can just basically use everything again. So let's just make that. Okay, quite like that color. Okay, right. A lot of you didn't do this. You should remember this. Merge and center. So this part at the top, select it all, merge and center. Okay, we've lost it. Move it to the left. Let's give that another color. Have a nice blue. Okay, and then we want to be able to see what we're doing. So borders are good. More borders here. Okay, and remember, so now that we've merged and center, that can all look a bit neater. So you should really have this as you start. You've got it all formatted. It looks good. Okay, you know, you could even do better. You could just make that bold, make the names bold so we know who it is. Okay, one thing I also did, which I showed a lot of people, you can select that. We won't do this now, actually. You can fix that, freeze that pane. Okay, if you freeze the pane, then you always see that. But for now, I'm going to undo that. It's freeze panes, unfreeze pane. Okay, so what I was showing everybody is how to copy the page and make sure each page has exactly what you want to see in it. So this is all the data here. This is what we're going to concentrate at first. So we're going to move or copy. We're going to create a copy, and it should be a copy of energy. Okay, we're going to click OK. So we get energy 2. Right. Now with this, I'm going to move it to the end. Okay, but this, what we want to show here is gas consumption. So I'm going to change the name of this to gas consumption, and I'm going to call it gas consumption data. Okay, data. Because this is gas consumption, everything else I want to get rid of. So I select it all. So to get rid of this, do not press the backspace key, press the delete key, and you get rid of all that data. Again, let's tidy all the data up. Okay, by using things, check this, make sure the data's nice and tidy. So we've got all the gas consumption data here. If I look on energy, that's still got all of the data we want to use. Okay, so this is our main data table. We also need costs. So I'm going to copy this, create a copy, and this one, okay, and again I'm going to move it to the end. Drag it so it's there. I need to rename this to gas consumption costs. Okay, enter. So gas consumption data, gas consumption costs. But at the moment, this shows the usage data. I don't need that. So I'm going to delete all of that. Delete, do not press backspace. So this is gas consumption costs. We don't know the costs yet. Gas consumption data. Okay, we do know the data. I want to transform this 11.5 gas usage to its monetary value, and I'll do that by multiplying it by the cost of gas. Okay, so I do that quite easily. I just do equals reference the gas consumption data for this person, the exact same one, and then I'm going to multiply that by cost, which is this. I press enter, okay, and I get that value. Remember, this is going to be currency, and I want 4 decimal spaces. Okay, so I have the exact value there. Now, the problem is, if I drag this down, we have an old problem, zeros. And that shouldn't be 0 because the gas consumption here is 10, and the person that should be 0 is this lady. Okay, and the reason that's happening is because we haven't put the dollar signs before the C3. I press Control Z, and this C3 needs dollar signs. Remember, F4 is the shortcut. Press enter again, drag that down, and I've got all the costs there. Now what I can do, I drag this across. Okay, got all the costs for that lady. Okay, don't worry, this will happen. I'll show you, and I'll drag it down. Got all the costs for everybody. I can't see it because there's not enough space. If I do that, I get all the costs for everybody. So now I have a complete cost table generated from my consumption table, which is all based on this cost here. This is a very important cell. So now that's done, what I can start to do is I can start to get some good data. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this here, and what I want to know is total average cost per day. So average per day. So what I can do, this is nice bit of, okay. I've got this table set up. If I want to find the total cost over 90 days of gas consumption for Miss Ju Chan, that's a very simple formula. Sum, bracket, I'm just going to choose everything that's here. 90 days, add all those cells together, and her total cost is £36.83. Now this, because if I drag down, it's going to do all the formulas the same, I can just drag it down. And there we go. We've got the whole total cost for each tenant. Average per day is really simple. So I'm just going to take what's in this cell and divide it by the number of days, which is 90, and I get an average cost per day. Okay, that's a really, really simple way of organizing the data. You could do something like this in the gas consumption. You could do the total gas consumption, the average per day of gas consumption. You could repeat this here. Okay, so we've got the gas consumption data. Now you'd need to replicate this, copy the main table. Okay, so we're going to copy this, create a copy of this. Okay, and we've got the whole table again, which is here, energy 2. I'm going to drag this to the end. Okay, rename, and I want this to be called electricity consumption data. Okay, so I don't need stuff here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of this because I don't care about electricity consumption. Okay, gas consumption. What I care about is the electricity consumption. So I take this data, that's it, place it here. Okay, now I have the electricity consumption. What I've also got to do is get rid of the electricity generated data. Okay, and I might want to make the formatting better, do anything like that. You know, this doesn't look so good like that. I've got to go through the whole thing again. So I want to make sure that here's gas consumption, here's electricity consumption. I want to calculate the costs. So I'd need to then move or copy this, create a copy, okay, and I'll change this to costs. Okay, running out of video space.